everybody. Welcome back for another edition of the Club Cool podcast. I'm your host, Barrett Dudley, and I am here in the Washed Media Studios, brought to you by Washed Media, of course. Joining me on the other side of the table, as per usual, it's Mr. Phil Battaglia. Phil,
yo,
what's going on?
Not much, man.
I've got a really important question for you here, just off top. Per usual is something that I like to say.
That's okay.
It's a fun abbreviation for me. And when I try to write it in a text message, how do you do the usual?
No clue, dude. That seems like something you couldn't.
There are so many options that you can go with. None of them really make perfect sense. I even looked this up. There's a lot.
Is there
There's
a
like
Z?
there's like a UHZ. There's UJE, huge. There's UGE, as if you're saying huge, but huge, per huge.
If you would commit to one,
This is important stuff.
it would remember, and then you could just.
And then I could right, but it's you run the risk of somebody looking down and being like per ugga,
Yeah.
per uja,
What an idiot.
per uj,
Yeah.
you know. But this is an ongoing problem. Cash is another one. If I want to say it's business cash,
Yeah.
not casual. Who wants to spell out casual?
Not me.
The other day I was about to do a decige. It's a group decige.
You're really hitting them with all the abbreviations.
We need a go-to. We need a standard for this J sound at the end of these abbreviated words.
Sure.
Somebody needs to get on this. Set the standard.
I'm sure you create it.
Let's get a linguist on the pod. Let's get a real linguist.
That'd be cool.
I took a linguistics class
I
in
could
college.
use some work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah. I think we've got a fun show for you today, though. It won't just be 100% about abbreviations on text message chains. There's some news out there that's bubbling about a hot new flick that's coming out that's being filmed right now. It looks very, very exciting. Sign me up. It's Adam Driver and Lady Gaga, and a story about a Gucci murder that I'd never heard of until now. So we'll talk a little bit about fashion films, fashion TV, films about fashion, et cetera, et cetera. And then I wanted to touch on a trend that is that's out there right now that's super hot. It's actually a brand, not just a trend. It's a trending brand, if you will. And then we'll go to the hotline. We'll go to the hotline and maybe take one call, maybe take two. I don't know if there will be time. We'll just have to see. Today's episode brought to you by us on patreon.com/clubcool. There are 2 tiers for you to join. There's a bunch of hot new tent that's about to come out. I'm doing the first wish list, which is it's for our more expensive tier because it's our more expensive wish list. No holds barred. I might mess around and throw a $3,000 Bottega Veneta necklace on there if I want to.
Now you're talking.
You know what I mean?
That's what we want.
Because this is our aspirational list. It's the other one, which you get in our lower price tier, is more about what we're actually buying, what we're thinking about, affordable ways to kind of amp up your wardrobe or add something cool or add something new or get a beautiful vase like you put on our most recent one that had the cord popping off. And this one will be, a little bit higher concept stuff that we're either stalking, waiting around for sale season, stuff that we just simply like and want but probably will never own, stuff that is directional or pushing us towards some type of look that we want to emulate or execute. So it'll be good. That'll be coming out probably later today. If you're listening to this now, it should be out there. It should be out there. Patreon.com/clubcool. Check it out. You can read about both tiers, see what you get. And both tiers also, like I just mentioned, access to the Discord. That is a Patreon perk now. But it's good stuff going on in there, man. Just really good stuff. If you are a listener of fellow Wash podcast, you may know about, called Circling Back. Here's what I'll tell you about our Discord compared to theirs. It's a lot more digestible. I promise that you will not have to scroll through 48 different categories, which somehow always have new things in them. I'm really overwhelmed by being in there. It's quite shocking, but ours is a little bit more narrow focused, and sometimes that's just that's exactly what you need, exactly what you want. Check us out, patreon.com/clubcool. Let's get into it. Have you seen these new photos that have been being put on the gram and on the web? of Lady Gaga and Adam Driver.
The first one I saw, I had no idea. I could recognize him. I didn't recognize her at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just scrolled right through.
I think it's real. One of the reasons why I think that she's fun as an actress is because we've known her as Lady Gaga for so long that she can kind of like blend into these film roles.
She's a great actress.
Without really, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
her character, her personality of Lady Gaga is so far out there that when she's just kind of like her regular self
Yeah.
and buries herself into these roles, you know, it's very believable. It's she's able to kind of sink in and you know, because that's a lot of actors have that issue where it's like I'm watching Vince Vaughn in a film and she's like, that's just Vince Vaughn, man. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
So she looks great. Adam Driver looks great, and this film is about a big fashion murder that I did not know about. Let's see. I'm going here. The film, it's called House of Gucci, and it is based on the 2000 Sarah Gay Forden book of the same name. It's being helmed by Ridley Scott. May have heard of him. And it is about, let's see, let me get this right here. Patrizia Reggiani, who was an eccentric Italian socialite, was this guy's ex-wife. Let me make sure I've got his name correct here. He was a Gucci, though. I know that much. Let's see. Where is it? Where are you at? Maurizio Gucci. He was the then head of Gucci, and he was the grandson of the house's founder. He was murdered by a hitman on his way to his Milan office, and his ex-wife, Patrizia Reggiani, the eccentric Italian socialite, who's being played by Lady Gaga, obviously, was convicted of hiring the hitman. She became known as the Black Widow for her over-the-top style and gallows humor. When a reporter asked her why she didn't just shoot Maurizio herself, she replied, "My eyesight is not so good. I didn't want to miss." And guess what? She was released in 2014.
What the fuck?
She's out the clink. I did not. Over in Italy, I guess you can hire somebody to murder your spouse and then be out of prison.
And then she wants to be back into the house.
She
of
would
Gucci?
she would like to be
She's like a
welcomed
role?
back to the House of Gucci. Yes.
That's great.
She was released in 2014. She actually turned down an offer of release in 2011 because she had never worked before, and the idea horrified her.
It must be a terrible prison.
This is yeah. What are the Italian prisons like? And what? Actually, I don't know where she was in prison. It might have been no. Yeah, it had to be because this all happened in Milan. But they must be nice enough that she was willing to stay for an extra few years to just hang out before being released.
I love that she thought I would really love to go to work for Gucci. I just can't believe they won't have me.
She works as a jewelry consultant now. I'm still just floored that she's just out living life now after having her husband murdered. Really, really shocking.
Is there any like dirt on this guy? Was he not a great person? What's the deal?
Why would they have let her out like this?
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
I'm guessing their laws are just more forgiving.
Damn.
Yeah, because I don't have a better answer. But speaking of Maurizio, this is kind of I think what's interesting is this happened before the murder of Gianni Versace.
Yeah.
But it's obviously way less known and way less talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of slipped under the radar. So, we don't have any type of connotation or emotion about the story here, right? In the way that we kind of know, we kind of understand the story of what happened with this obsessive guy who ended up killing Gianni Versace. So I don't know. I'm interested to learn more about Maurizio. I mean, this guy was literally a Gucci. His last name is Gucci.
I can't wait to watch it.
So obviously the stills, the photos look amazing. Both Adam Driver and Gaga look very good. The and the clothing is going to be phenomenal, of course. Other stars in the film include Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, and our headless Gucci model himself, Jared Leto.
Of course.
Yeah. So they're saying that the fact that Jared Leto is in the film is kind of like Gucci giving their little okay to this film. Say like, they
He's
won't.
the gatekeeper.
They won't comment on it,
Yeah.
right? They're not going to say anything. They won't publicly endorse or condemn. But the fact that Jared Leto is in it signals that Gucci has given the A-OK.
What does Jared think about Harry Styles and how they've kind of cozied up to him? I'd love to find that out.
It's a big rivalry, and everybody's talking about it. I think
he was their darling. Jared.
He's still like
J-Bone.
Jared Leto. I feel like he's like best friends with Alessandro Michel, the creative director there. Harry Styles, I feel like, is more of like a muse. Yeah. I'm sure that Alessandro would say that Jared Leto is a muse as well, but I feel like their friendship is close.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like they're boys. Harry Styles seems a little bit more like a distant celestial body that they just want to drape their garms on.
Okay.
Also, Harry can wear the dresses. He can wear the lace.
Yeah.
He can go full androgynous, unisex, the whole shebang.
I mean, Jared Leto played a transvestite, and
That's true. but I just.
but
feel
yeah,
like
he does. Harry can pull that off much.
Harry pulls off the fluid stuff
Yeah.
better than Leto can,
Yeah.
and I think I think that's why one of the reasons why he's such a fashion darling, and especially for Gucci there. Yeah, so definitely eager to see and hear more about this, and it got me thinking about. I don't feel like these fashion stories are mined for content enough. Now we had the FX like series, the Ryan Murphy like American crime thing that was about the Versace murder.
FX. It's my channel.
That's your channel?
Remember I was very confused that everything was on FX at one time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Breaking Bad.
Was on AMC.
There was another one.
Sons of Anarchy?
I don't know.
Justified?
No.
What are you watching on FX?
See, that's the thing. I thought I was watching on FX.
You should buy some stock in FX.
Yeah.
How
How about okay, go ahead.
No. What were you
No,
going to say?
I forgot the name of the fucking show before I even came out of my mouth. Queen Latifah's new show.
Oh, the
Equalizer.
The Equalizer.
Who's watching this?
That it was a jarring transition to finish up with the Oprah, Mary, and Hagen,
And then get hit with
Oprah,
Equalizer?
Harry, and Meghan interview, and then charge straight into the Equalizer with Queen Latifah.
Man, we had a running joke. We were watching the Super Bowl, and like they kept, all those promos for Equalizer. I was like, man, I can't wait for this game to be over so we can get into it.
Did you watch the pilot of the
Absolutely
Equalizer?
not. That you would have to chain me down to watch something like this.
There's a new network, and I don't watch network anymore.
Right.
Who does at this point? But there's a new one that had some buzz. It's called Debris.
Okay.
And I think it was after The Bachelor on Monday night. As we were on the YouTube TV, and I flipped to something while I cleaned the kitchen, and I put on Debris because I had heard of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's totally it's like a mix of X-Files and Stranger Things and Law and Order or something.
Is there some little child that has superpowers and they have to continue?
No, it's more. There's no central alien. It's more like paranormal stuff is happening, like that and they're investigating X-Files style.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems kind of. I don't know.
I'm an avid 60 Minutes guy. Everybody knows this, and I record it. And so, in order to get the full recording, oftentimes
you got to go.
You got to go to the next.
Right.
And it's been the Equalizer.
That's what it usually.
So the DVR. I've got 5 episodes of Equalizer on there.
So did the Meghan and Harry interview replace 60 Minutes this Sunday?
I don't know
because it was on CBS.
I didn't.
Or did it come on after 60 Minutes?
I think it was after.
After 60 Minutes. Yeah.
I was hoping that you would explain to me the big bombshells from that interview because I didn't get a chance to watch it. We could save that, I guess, when it's no longer news.
No, we could. Let's talk about it. The bombshells were. I think there were 2 main ones. One, that Meghan was harboring suicidal thoughts at one point, and that was one of the big
That's why they moved.
pieces of like
Right.
we have. Okay, well, if the mental health is getting that bad for Meghan, then something has to change. The other big bombshell was that unnamed members of the royal family, the only information that we got was that it was not Prince Philip or Queen Elizabeth. So unnamed members of either the institution, the firm, or the royal family had questions about how dark Archie's skin color was going to be.
Wow.
Yeah. So some latent racism, some severe mental health issues, and then overall a lack of willingness on the part of the crown to offer them essentially any type of protection. And now I guess that was another big one, is that they basically begged to, like, while they were leaving, to hold on to at least their like security, because there were so many wild death threats and racists out there and just, perils facing both Meghan, Harry, or all three of them really. And they like pulled the security basically. They didn't even allow them to keep the security while they like moved to Canada and then came to LA and like did all that basically.
That's crazy.
So
sounds like they need the real queen to intervene.
Queen Latifah.
The equalizer. That's a hell of a security detail.
That's right.
She don't play. She don't play.
I mean, the thing is, she'll equalize you.
Well, yeah.
The
tagline they kept, shoving down your throat is, "I'm who you call when you can't call 911." Something of that. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start watching it.
Now you're talking me into it. Phil.
These shows, man.
Yeah. I don't know what network TV is doing. It's like 5 years away from being completely extinct.
I feel like those types of shows are aimed directly towards an older crowd.
They are. Yes, they are. Yeah. Absolutely. People
they loved Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
They ripped that away from him and rebooted it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here in Round Rock.
That's right. I auditioned for a role in Walker, Texas Ranger.
Still waiting to hear back?
Yeah. I'm hoping I didn't hear back about a callback, but 3 months down the road, my fingers are crossed. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. You never know.
Showbiz.
Yeah. Okay, where were we?
Who knows? Gucci. Dead.
We need the. I said this on Clams and Cockles, but we got to get the Oprah Sunday interviews. We got to get them back. We need more of them. That was fabulous.
Is she doing? Oh, this is the one and only she's done, correct? Or
yeah, we haven't seen her on our TV doing these big hard-hitting interviews in a really long time. But one of the great things was that, and I realized that she like has a close relationship with Meghan, or at least a friendly relationship. But she didn't let them off the hook. When they would like kind of balk at questions or not really answer them or give kind of like answers that didn't totally make sense, she kept hitting on the question and like going back around to it. She did not let them off easy. The questions were not softballs, and I think that's why it was such a captivating interview. Yeah. Okay. Back to fashion TV and film. There was the Versace thing on your favorite channel, FX, and but I just feel if it involves like a big fashion house and lots of beautiful clothing and like lots of eccentric characters, I feel like it needs to be in a movie. It just feels like it sets up better.
Not even HBO
for a movie. Yeah, I would trust HBO to do it, but
Netflix,
really maybe Netflix too. Yeah. But beyond those two, I feel like it wants to be a movie, right?
Yeah, but what is a movie now?
That's true. I guess it's all the same.
It's all the same.
There was something a little too. I don't know. I didn't even watch it. I should probably watch it before I talk shit about it. The Versace one. The Versace one.
The Versace one.
That was on FX, your favorite channel.
Maybe, yeah. To me, it needs. Did it not get the full treatment? It just kind of seemed half-ass. That's what I feel like you're saying.
I felt that way based on seeing clips, trailers, and reading some of the reviews.
Okay.
But like I said, I should probably actually give it a shot before I talk more trash about it.
Yeah. Are there any big names
in that one? Darren Criss, Penelope Cruz. Yeah.
Okay. Penelope. I like
she
her.
played Donatella. Can't remember who played Gianni.
Anyway, that seems like that. Gaga could have done
Donatello. Yeah. Well, again, just like Jared Leto slipped into the Gucci one, Penelope is friends with Donatello.
I see.
So it was that head nod type thing. But beyond the murders, I just feel like there's a lot of stuff. Every time fashion is in a movie, it's usually a hit, and I've got some here to talk about. Devil Wears Prada, classic. Zoolander, all-timer. Phantom Thread, Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
Classic. Didn't actually see it yet.
Me either.
Bruno.
Now there's a classic. That's the one. Of all these, that one stands above.
Who asked the biggest fashion question of all time, the one that persists today? What's like the innest religion?
Bruno is the man. I love him to death.
Yeah. But we don't get enough of this.
Yeah,
it's got intrigue. It's got drama. It's got beautiful settings.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful wardrobes.
Right, Devil Wears Prada, all those shows that we go to, and
so it just seems like it. You know, I realize that that these murders that we're talking about are the sexiest stories, but I think that I think that people should be going in finding more fashion stories, and even the stuff that I named is kind of all about like capital F fashion, right? But even TV shows that are more about like the origins that have maybe a longer story to tell instead of kind of like a one big thing, like a murder mystery, but How to Make It in America, which was really fun on HBO. Tell me you wouldn't watch a dramatized version of like the rise of Kanye West into fashion. Right. You got the music aspect. You've got Kanye's, even if you just use the base of his story to tell a new one, right? Like inspired by. And then you've got all the electrons floating around him that end up doing their own thing, like Don C and Virgil Abloh, and like how the Nike to Adidas switch came in. I just feel like it would be. I mean, I'd watch a documentary about it too, but I think that you could, much in the same way that I am actually very much enjoying the dramatized, fictionalized retelling of the history of the 20th century royal family and the crown. I'd like spice it up for me a little bit. Yeah. Right? Put it on a fancy network and spend a bunch of money on it and tell me a story.
I'm down. I would watch every bit of that.
Yeah. So, and then Zoolander, I constantly think of lines and scenes from the film, and that's a comedy. There's so much to parody as well here. Yeah. But I mean, really, weekly, I think of stuff from Zoolander, whether it's fashion-wise or just life-wise. Like Mugatu's Derelites campaign, way ahead of its time. Very much ahead of its time. Quick note on Devil Wears Prada. Did you see that Anne Hathaway popped up on RuPaul's Drag Race? No. Did a little interview with the contestants, like, pumped him up, gave him some encouragement, and then like answered a bunch of questions as well. She relayed that she was the 9th choice for that role in The Devil Wears Prada.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Did she give any insight as to who was in front of her?
Yeah, she did. I think she mentioned a few names, and then people kind of like filled in the story from anecdotes from those years. But I think the most interesting person that passed on the role and was potentially like the number one person that they wanted was Rachel McAdams. She was off The Notebook success. Yeah. They wanted her for it, and she passed on it because she didn't want to become too famous. Isn't that crazy?
I feel like those two, Anne Hathaway and her, get cast for similar. I could see them at auditions together.
Yeah. It's just this is an especially interesting one because it's very, very hard for me to picture any of those other people. Yeah. Like it's the quintessential Anne Hathaway role, I feel like, right? And it kind of launched her into A-list stardom.
Another show we've been watching that involves Devil Wears Prada, Stanley Tucci.
Oh, love Stanley Tucci.
Have you been watching him?
I've not watched his new show.
God, it's good.
Yeah?
It's really good.
And that's on CNN?
Yeah.
And so are you recording it?
Yeah.
Is that how you're watching it?
Yeah. He could be. He's not Anthony Bourdain, but he could be our new version, a more dressed up version of Bourdain. Yeah. Just the way he tells the stories, it's nice. It's laid back, and he's just so likable. Yeah. And he's just doing Italy though right now, so I guess it might end.
And
after
was this
that.
all filmed pre-COVID?
The episodes we've seen, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. No, he's wearing a mask in some of the episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the Zac Efron Down to Earth on
Yeah,
Netflix?
all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Who's got your money for to be Bourdain's
Not Efron.
heir apparent?
Not Efron. No.
They're coming back for season 2 of Down to Earth.
Yeah. It just wasn't compelling.
Yeah.
You know. It was good. Don't get me wrong. But Tucci makes you want to book a flight.
Totally. Yeah. I thought I like Zac Efron in the Down to Earth thing, and we've talked about this a little bit, but he needs a better foil than Darren.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's
the guy.
That's who I don't like is Darren.
It just seems he's the quintessential life coach that
Yes.
wants you to get rid of everything, yet lives in Malibu.
Zac has a very interesting perspective and is kind of fun to listen to, and I also think he has like a naivety about him because I'm not sure how smart he is.
Damn. Hope he never listens to this.
He's such a bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he realizes that.
So he always has like kind of this like kind of like a woe face. He's always so he's always so interested and so amazed
When
by
they told him
everything
about
that
like
he's seeing.
protein diet,
Right.
His face was like, "What? I can't eat just max protein for every meal."
So that works in a travel show like that. Like
Yeah.
it's nice to have somebody that is just like so enthusiastic and interested in whatever somebody else is showing them, right? But Darren is too much of a wacko bird to like and kooky life coach to be a good foil.
I just don't believe any of.
There needs to be like somebody drier, a more straight man that's like but also who's witty and funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to check out the Tooch Man.
And also, this is just totally my perspective, but like the backstory of him and Darren, they could have met like 3 months before they started filming. Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't buy that they've been friends for
Right.
You know,
No, they're that's
he's
what
taught him.
again. That's what I'm saying. Like their chemistry
Yeah.
is not interesting.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. I just popped up while we were 2 of the other names that were mentioned in the story about Anne Hathaway being the 9th choice. Some other names: Claire Danes
Oh.
and Juliette Lewis were a couple of the others. And you can find there were a bunch more. Might have been Scarlett Johansson in there as well. There are some other names out there kind of floated around. But, I mean, Anne Hathaway, fantastic in that film, as was Meryl Streep. And Emily Blunt. Love Emily Blunt. Classic.
And Stanley Tucci.
And Stanley Tucci.
Don't forget Tucci.
He's in Captain America. Did you know that?
No.
Captain America, the first Avenger.
Is he really?
He's a German scientist. He turns Steve Rogers into Captain America.
Damn. See, he can do anything.
He can do it. He can do it all. So yeah. Anyway, all this to say,
What?
let's get more fashion content in TV and film. It's good. It's good stuff.
It is.
It's good stuff.
It is.
Okay, Phil. I just wanted to ask you real quick on this trending brand that I mentioned up top, and I'm repping today.
I see that.
I'm repping. First, it was Patagonia's turn, then the Solomon Trail Runners, and now our next crunchy outdoor brand that is on the tippy top of the fashion iceberg is Arc'teryx.
Mm-hmm.
Big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's wearing Arc'teryx. And the thing here is Arc'teryx has had a higher priced, more stripped down, all dark colors, no logos version of the brand, higher end everything basically, called Valance, which has been really beloved and highly thought of and recommended all over the place if you are into like Gorpcore, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into the really techie, outdoorsy fashion brands, that includes Outlier and Acronym and even stuff like Nike ACG, right?
Mm-hmm,
But so the Valance line really floats around in that category perfectly. But now, mainline regular Arc'teryx is popping up everywhere, and this is in no small part to the Virgil effect, who has been wearing some of like the brighter colored jackets and camo print stuff like that. Frank, is that Frank
Yeah.
in the beanie?
Right.
Yeah,
But
the
that's
Arc'teryx
instantly
beanie.
what came to my head.
Is Frank wearing the beanie?
Frank wearing that and that jacket.
And is the jacket Arc'teryx too,
It's
or is it
Mammut?
Mammut? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But that looks good.
Looks great.
And that was not recent.
So the Arc'teryx is everywhere. It's popping up on your Explore page now. I'm sure it's being kind of brought into the archival look, but also to the look that just includes stuff like Blundstones, like Blundstone Chelsea boots, and just a more a little bit more of the active lifestyle fashion thing. And I don't know. It's always interesting. I personally like it when kind of a mainstream brand, whether it's outdoor or otherwise, becomes very fashiony because it shines a new light on it. And suddenly you're like seeing it in a different way. And you're like, holy shit, this looks really good with X, Y, and Z. And I never would have thought about it like that because I only thought you could wear it with like REI cargo zip off cargo pants, right? But do you feel any sense of like gatekeeping when something like this happens? Like, do you feel like when Patagonia or Arc'teryx or something like that becomes hot, if you had already been on it for outdoor wear, for hiking, for going to the Greenbelt, for camping, for doing anything like that, are you then kind of annoyed that it's like a fashion item?
I would kind of be thrilled actually.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I knew that.
Right.
I knew it.
You knew it was tight.
Knew it was tight.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I guess maybe one of the reasons why I don't feel that way is also because I don't want other people from other cultures feeling that way when I co-opt things like Nike Dunks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't skate and I
Right,
really want to
exactly,
wear.
yeah,
I want to
right.
wear those sneakers. So don't gatekeep me, and I won't gatekeep you.
Right.
So
There's no border wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Open borders.
I'm tearing down the walls.
Very good.
Open borders. Let them all in.
Very good.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that briefly, and
Arc'teryx though to me makes a premium product.
They do
compared to these other brands that we mentioned.
I mean, so in the hierarchy of outdoor brands,
yes,
Arc'teryx has always been at the top.
Yes.
It's the most technical. It's the most functional.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want to make that. I don't want to put that as like a knock against Patagonia because Patagonia makes
Right.
great stuff too.
Yeah. But North Face below that.
And yes, yeah, I would say 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
There, or at least I would put them in those
Yeah.
3 tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fair way to describe it. North Face again makes great stuff too, but I just think that there's more. If you kind of attribute, one kind of like signature theme, Patagonia is like all about like environmentalism.
Yeah.
And so while their backcountry ski gear and their mountaineering stuff is all great, that's my ski set right now is all Patagonia and it's perfect. Arc'teryx, I feel like their theme, their through line is like, this is the most functional shit we can come up with. So it's just even more like R&D and taped seams everywhere and hydro functionality and waterproof, like everything that you could think of that you'd want in a technical garment like that. That's at least how Arc'teryx is conveyed to us. And the price point's a little bit higher too.
Another brand that I've seen out in the wild a lot is Sherpa.
I don't think I'm familiar.
A lot of technical stuff.
Okay.
And I first saw him at a trade show in back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit crunchier.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sherpa.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I've seen a lot of cool jackets.
Yeah. And we were talking about Hoka.
Yeah.
Pre-pod. That's another one that I feel like is really pushing into that Solomon territory for footwear. First
time I saw a pair of Hokas, I laughed. Like I couldn't get over how stupid they looked. Now I'm in the market.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they make those massive soles anymore. The big ones that were like.
Oh, I think they do.
Do they?
Like, I mean.
Is the Bondi the big dog?
Well, the big dog now is like the stuff that you've mentioned that's got like a giant heel tab on it, right?
Yeah. No, I don't want that. The ones that are totally meant for going downhill, I think, are hilarious.
That's what those are meant for?
Yeah.
Is for going down.
Running downhill.
Man, I see a lot of people at the gym with these things.
I'm talking. The back heel is literally like this.
Yeah, I'm right here. Let's see. Where'd they go? The road run, like, okay.
The
that's
edge,
it.
I dig.
You like the Clifton edge. All right.
But if you go down, there's one. It's like a boot form, but
where is this thing?
it is really, really something.
I just had it popped up.
If you do like trail runners, I'm sure it'll come up.
See, that's them right there, right?
That's the edge.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's what I've seen. That's what I'm seeing people at the
those.
gym with. And you've seen people coming in flossing these all the time, right?
Yeah. Not the boots that you're about to pull up. There, right there.
Yes. Okay.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's something.
That is something.
I mean,
You better be
Triple S,
hitting-
eat your heart out.
Eats. You got to be on some hills, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to give him a run.
But they're doing like a Bondi now that I was showing you right before. That's like all suede.
Yeah.
So it's definitely,
It's happening.
You
I
know,
like that purple too.
the purple's kind of nice. They're going after the market. So I don't know. Again, and just to spin this a little bit further, you know, we talked about like we have talked about how athleisure was kind of on trending downward pre-COVID, and then kind of got like a big boost again. And while I've talked about how it's like remanifesting itself in like stuff that's still really comfortable in like this work from home type of lifestyle, but isn't so heavy on like Lulu leggings and Nike hoodies and like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
This is again like an alternative version of it where it is athletic, but it is now very crunchy and techy and outdoorsy and like, you know, heavy on those camping and mountaineering and rainy day vibes.
Yes.
So Arc'teryx, it's up at the plate. It is batting and it's hitting lots of home runs. So if that floats your boat, just hit up your local REI, Whole Earth Provisions.
Whole Earth Provisions.
Okay, Phil, I think we have time for maybe two hotline calls.
Okay.
Now, here's what I'm going to do. Randy, you're going to put up our bottom third now, and the hotline number, if you're watching on youtube.com/washmedia, it's right here. Did I do that right, Randy? Nice.
Technology.
It is 833-258-2266 if you're listening, not watching. And if you want an easy way to remember that, it's 833-CLUB-COO.
Mm-hmm.
CLUBCOO. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a choice. I'm going to give you 3 topics, and I'm going to let you pick, and that's the call that we'll listen to. And then maybe we'll get to a second one. Okay. But all of these calls, same caller. That's why I'm giving you the choice.
Okay.
So shouts to Cole out there. We're playing at least one of your calls. Do you want to talk TikTok generation influence on fashion?
Yes, that's it.
Do you want to talk style evolution into new territories?
No.
Or do you want to talk Jerry Lorenzo at Adidas?
No.
You want to talk TikTok? TikTok it is.
I'm on the outside looking in. I want to know everything. The more I can get at TikTok, the better. These guys. Real quick. There's at the gym, there's so many characters. Always, right? There's the breakdancing guy that I think Dave has talked about before. He wears a beanie that's got a pad on the head so he can spin. It is awesome. There's that guy.
Is he just like in front of a mirror breakdancing?
Yes. He's not breakdancing. He's spinning on his head. That's it.
It's a hell of a core workout.
Oh man, it's wild. And there's other characters, but recently these teens that look like they just came off the TikTok feed are now in.
Okay.
And they cannot stop looking at themselves in the mirror.
Dude.
They can't do it. They all look like clones of one another.
Yep.
And it is awesome.
Do they all have the hair?
Yes. They have all got the hair, the short shorts.
The short shorts.
The tube socks.
Yep.
And they're doing it.
I'm honestly surprised they're not just pop and top.
Right. They're very close.
You know,
They're very close to popping top.
if any generation would just set a new norm, they're just going shirtless at the gym from now on.
I would love that.
It's these guys.
I would really enjoy that.
It is now infiltrating my Instagram Explore page, by the way.
Oh, no.
I'm getting all sorts of, and I get.
I don't even get on that page.
I guess it's my fault because I click on the videos and look at them.
That's definitely your fault.
But it's just amazing. It's amazing. And I know I've said every time I talk about TikTok, I talk about this, whether it's off mic or on mic. I talk to Randy about it. But like, I can't get over, and this is like an old man of me, you know, yelling at the clouds or whatever, but like, these dudes being hot is so weird. I cannot get past it. Like doing the little lip bites and the little smiles with their perfect hair and their poof front hair. It seems like everybody's getting tattooed when they're like 15 years old now as well. Or some of these guys are like 22 already, or I don't know. Who can say? I can't tell. It's always been like the girl thing where I can't tell if you're 16 or 26. Mm-hmm. Now that's a guy thing too. Mm-hmm. The guys, I can't tell. I really can't tell how old they are.
What's a tween, Randy?
You can't say that.
Oh, really?
I'm kidding. No. 11, 12.
I wanted to call those guys tweens just because I love that word, tween.
Yeah, no, that's like before you're actually you're a teenager.
But there's got to be what's the acronym? Why is it?
You're in between.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're in between. Like you're not all the way. You're not quite a teenager yet. Yeah.
So these guys were teens.
They were full on teens.
All right, let's hear this dude.
But yeah, it's yeah, another thing that these kids are all very good about that we were not very good about, I guess, or I personally was not very good about. They all seem to understand the weight and the importance and the severity of keeping your braces on and then wearing your retainer every single night because they all have perfect teeth.
Oh, God. I thought you were going to say they're doing content about retainers.
No. All like...
I have the permanent retainer on the bottom. I wish they would have put one on top.
I do too, but it's not. I'll tell you what. 34 years old. More than almost anything else I want in life. More than home renovations.
New
more
grill.
Than clothes. Veneers.
What?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
You don't feel that way. You don't. I just see
I'm
these.
fine.
I feel these perfect white. I don't know.
But veneers are so extreme.
They're not that extreme these days,
really?
From what I hear. They're not really grinding your teeth down to nubs. That's a myth.
No, I'm talking about the things they just slap on there. Isn't it just like a...
They do shorten your teeth a little bit.
Mm.
And then they do, and then it's like, and then they're veneer fronts. That
Your grill's fine, dude.
It's probably a waste of money.
Yeah, go for the home reno.
But if I ever just came into a boatload of cash,
you'd be getting those teeth
I'd
done.
probably get perfect teeth. Yes.
Well, I would love to see it.
It's gonna change. I mean, it'll change everything.
Yeah, you'll be getting these parts on.
Yeah,
Walker,
it will rocket me to stardom,
yeah.
Phil.
There's Barrett and his perfect teeth. Look at that smile.
There's no way that it wouldn't. Okay, you ready? You ready to hear this phone call?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
What's up, Club Cool? It's Cole. Topic for discussion. Barrett and Phil, this might be a little, like, below your generation, like you might be past this, but wondering, do you have thoughts on how the TikTok stars and the TikTok generation, like how they're kind of the style icons of people who are right now in their mid to low 20s and below? It's kind of crazy just to think about how kids on an app are like getting brand deals and cosigns with major, makeup labels or clothing brands, whatever it is, and they're being used in people's campaign shoots and like making young kids like want to dress like them, and it's just like this whole new wave of influence coming from TikTok. So any thoughts on that? let me know. Thanks.
I think it makes sense to me. So, for instance, like, if I was in that age bracket, I usually, even in this age bracket, like, I'm not looking to Al Pacino for style threads. You know what I mean? Or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I look at older people all the time for influence, but you tend to, like, your funnel goes to people that are in your age that are in the spotlight that are
Guys,
just
I figured it out. Everyone's talking about.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Where were we?
I'm about to show you something, but okay.
Okay.
What are you saying though?
What I'm saying is, it makes sense to me that if I was a teen,
That you would look. To
I'm
TikTok.
looking to other famous teens for influence.
Sure.
You know,
Okay,
if I'm
okay.
on my phone, if that's what I'm into,
You're,
then yeah.
you're using Al Pacino as a reference, saying you're not looking at old people for your references.
It just
for
makes
your
sense
inspiration.
to me that they have an influence. It makes sense. If you're famous,
Yes.
you're going to have an influence.
Yeah.
On somebody.
So yeah, I agree with you there. I think what's interesting about TikTok is that Instagram was the first platform to democratize fashion and street style, right? It's along with like online shopping, but then through Instagram especially, that's what gave online shopping made all of the things accessible, but Instagram made the entire world accessible. It made the shows right there on your phone. It made being at fashion weeks in Milan and Paris and New York and London right there. You could see it all. It gave rise to the street style stars, which took influence away from what we were seeing on the runway and gave it to the people that were actually going to the shows on the runway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of that's what led to this whole like where is which direction is the influence actually flowing at this point, right? Like we've seen in the current Celine line that is being released right now, that is, we covered it when Hetty showed it, but it's called The Dancing Kid, and it is basically influenced by TikTok. So that is a real example, a very clear example of TikTok influencing what is coming down Eddie Slimaine's runway at Celine, and not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
The kids are not seeing what's at the shows, having that diffuse into mall brands, and then like eventually it reaches them. So it's that flow still does go both ways at various moments, but you know, from Instagram and then to TikTok, now it is fully going strongly in that direction as well. TikTok is also, I feel like, the youngest app ever. It's most dominated by kids that are younger than 20, really, I would say. Whereas even Instagram felt like it was college kids it was in that, you know, the beating heart of Instagram was like 20 to 30 years old, and now now TikTok is even younger. So we're seeing even more like kind of high school and these youthful trends make their way all the way into fashion, which is interesting. And I think that's why that's where you get a lot of like mishmash and zaniness, like we talked about when I talked about kind of spring trends last week or 2 weeks ago, and talked about how there didn't seem to be like one major direction. There's not one big through line. There's like it's so many different things that are popular right now. Again, I think that is reflective of almost what it's like to be in high school, where like the jocks like one thing, and then the goth and the emo kids like another thing, and then there's like the arts kids and the theater kids, right? You've got all your sections and your cliques, and each of them are probably into something else. You walk around a high school, there's not one dominating look, really.
Oh man, I would hate to walk around a high school now. It'd be like just a constant TikTok feed,
Yeah.
right? Like I would.
They're probably
venture
just all doing this.
the majority. Yes.
filming TikToks all day long.
Yes.
That's what I would imagine.
Fuck man, that sounds really whack.
So, I think that's kind of like my overall takeaway is the directional flow of how brands are influenced themselves by what they're seeing from the youngest generation, and then the fact that that the zaniness and the craziness that we see is because there are so many different types of people on TikTok that there's not, you know, one kind of emphasized look.
Mm-hmm.
To keep talking about other things, though, that revolve around TikTok, just like other forms of social media, starts as one thing and is becoming and will eventually become another. Because this always happens. It's just how it goes. It's the evolution of social mediums. But celebrities are getting on TikTok now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there is money to be made, there is influence to be wielded, and there are fans to be garnered, right, by having a platform there as well. And so they're going there. And so one that's on TikTok now is John Mayer.
And his Antone
A
shirt.
non-fungible token.
So
I don't know what that means, but I don't have to look that up to still not understand it.
But
that's why I've created.
He's got a poppin' TikTok now. The first thing I want to talk about is obviously the Antones t-shirt, because I saw him wearing this Antones t-shirt on TikTok yesterday and then spent an hour trying to find a vintage Antones t-shirt because it's so dope. Do you have one? I can absolutely see this sitting in your closet.
No, I would like to get that. Doesn't look vintage to me. I guarantee you that's one that is available at their location.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't wear that.
I think he would.
There's no way that's not from like 1997.
Maybe so. I don't know. It doesn't look that vintage.
Okay. All right. Might have to swing by Antones.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think the fit looks like a modern day blank though? That was my biggest thing, because most things that
they're shorter in the sleeves, right?
Right, and I guess this one's not.
It is a little
super
short.
boxy. Yeah. So
the neck. You see how the neck's pretty tight?
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay.
This one more so than the other one. This one, I thought it looked more
here's the theory behind slow dancing in a burning room.
But
so you can
right,
learn more
right.
than just how to play the song.
It could be newer. Okay. Point being here, as more and more of this happens, it will be interesting to see if the style gets homogenized like it is on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Because as more and more mainstream things start happening on TikTok, that's just another function of it. That's another byproduct.
Look at all the celebrities right here. I mean,
yeah,
Will Smith, Kevin Hart.
Yep, Gordon Ramsay. He's a big into fashion. Snoop, Selena. Yeah.
Huh.
So, I guess that's kind of the question is as celebrities and more mainstream things start moving to TikTok and happening on TikTok, are the very young people still able to wield the same type of influence, or do they get sucked in and homogenized as well? To Cole's point, we talk about that directional flow. That's kind of how that's honestly where the designers start pulling the strings, because even if Celine is being inspired by the TikTok generation for an entire collection, well, Gucci's gonna come grab.
Yeah.
What's her face? Dixie D'Amato or whatever. Or what? Give me some names, Randy. What's the one? What's the one that's like the Kylie Jenner of TikTok? Why can't I think of her name?
Randy knows. He's acting like he doesn't know.
Yes, Addison Rae. Thank you. Gucci's gonna come down and grab her for a campaign. And then she's wearing Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it starts going in the opposite way. As they grab these people and put them in the clothes, like I'll never forget Finn Wolfhard, the kid from Stranger Things,
Mm-hmm.
being in Saint Laurent ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know he's like 19, 18, however old, but he's got the perfect tall, lanky figure for all that shit. But that's... So the more that happens, the more that global brands and fashion brands and kind of start picking these people off for sponsorships, then that flow goes the other direction,
Mm-hmm.
and they start influencing the followers that they have on TikTok. So it's there are differences in I think how it'll all shake out compared to Instagram. Because I think it's not as easy to glamorize on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
It feels far more authentic. There aren't as many filters and settings and mural walls behind you and professional photographers getting all your angles. even the fashion content that I see on TikTok, like the one that was kind of trending recently of like what I'd wear to different fashion shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's people in their rooms. It's people like setting up their bedrooms as nicely as they can, and then
That's cool.
putting on these little one man plays or one woman plays of sorts. So it just has less of a polish.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's a way that it'll maintain authenticity until, of course, TikTok figures out how to start polishing and glamorizing, which they probably will. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I don't know.
The video that's playing right now is
should we just put it on?
Really good. See, this is something that would get me eject sleeve.
John Mayer eating Thin Mints. He's an unbelievable content creator. So it's not surprising that he's doing well on TikTok. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think a little bit further to see to think about if I personally feel influenced by TikTok yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe in a way, but I don't think I've ever seen anything on TikTok and been like I know I have on Instagram and be like, I like that. I should try that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's another. Is the influence more subtle right now? Probably. So
it embeds itself into your brain.
Yeah. That's what I got. Okay. I think that was probably the deepest call, and it took up all our time. And
it's all right.
Now we can wrap it up and save the other calls for another time.
Okay.
How about that?
Keep calling.
Yes. Check out the phone number. It's 833-258-2266. If you're watching, it's right there on the screen. And give us a call, man. Talk to us about whatever you want. Give me your pitch for fashion TV shows and films. Let's talk about spring trends. Let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, or girls. Call in. Love to hear from the ladies as well. And we will continue to play the hotline calls and the voicemails as we get them. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at ClubCoolPod. Go check us out. Support the podcast. Patreon.com/ClubCool for more and more bonus content. Last question I got for you, Phil. Do I need to make an offer on this pair of leather pants that I'm watching on Grailed?
Without seeing them.
Do you want to see them?
Yes.
Okay. But without seeing them,
yes.
I just
Where do you plan on where are these going to be donned?
That's the problem. But I think if it was January instead of February, instead of March, I think I already would have bought these because I would have talked myself into having at least one like cold weather dinner date to go on in these. But yes, with spring weather right in last night I had these pulled up, and I was doing the 10-day weather thing, looking out at the weather, just being like, if I got these in 4 days, would I have a day to wear them?
Are they double knees?
And no, they just have a seam across the knee. But as far as leather pants go, this pair from Acne is one that I've eyeballed for quite some time, and this is my size. And
just hit that purchase button.
And the fit is on point. They're slim, but they're not skinny. I think they're right in that good spot for.
They look comfy
for the fit of leather, and like, what if I could get these for $350? You know, I might do it. I might.
All right, to be continued.
I think I just what's a wardrobe with no leather pants?
That's true, man.
The saga continues. I will report back next week. Once again, thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome to the club.